Florida, Jersey, wherever.
Now we're on the internet. Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 318. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. In this show, we will be discussing the Mantis X10 review, a Stoeger compact, Odin's 22 suppressor, and a Discrete backpack. I'm your host, Chad Wallace, your resident raccoon wrangler, and with me tonight are, of course, Tony, Zane, and Rob. Did any of you guys do anything with guns?
I did.
No.
I did too.
I shot the coronavirus drill for the B8 development group.
Did you? No, wait. Does it have you hold toilet paper in one arm?
No. You have to. I did not get a chance to shoot the Nightlife Brewing one yet. I need to do that one. No, so the coronavirus drill is it's 14 rounds at 7 yards from the holster.
It should be 6 feet, right?
Yeah, we did it 7 yards because originally, when it came out a couple months ago, we originally thought it was longer. So, anyways, it's 14 rounds, 7 yards, 7 seconds from the holster, which doesn't sound too bad, except for they all have to be in the 10 ring.
I was going to say, so you have to score 100.
And you have to, by the way, wear a full face respirator. So I did not pass.
Jeez, I would not pass. You threw in the respirator and I'm done.
I could either make the time or the accuracy, but I never made both. Which from the holster, you're looking at about 0.38 splits. If you have a 1.5 second draw, and
right?
The 10 ring on a B8 is 3.5 inches. We're talking 7 yards. So
yeah.
Not easy peasy, but I should have passed it, but I didn't.
Come on, it's too bad you have to do it from the draw, or else you could just do it with a rifle.
I could have definitely done it with a
rifle. Yeah, exactly.
Because I used a M40 gas mask to do it, or field protective mask. Yeah. So it has a filter off to the side, so you still get a cheek weld and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, I do have a question for you, Zane, that I didn't ask earlier. Did you get your slide back with the Holosun?
No, I just got an email today. They just finally shipped it. It was supposed to be shipped last week, but I'm sure they're super busy. So I actually just saw my email. It's being shipped to me tomorrow. So by the next show, I should have it.
Okay, I was just curious. I hadn't heard anything, so
no, still waiting on it. About 6 weeks now, which is not an astronomical lead time for most of these companies.
Right.
So, yeah.
I got you. Tony, did you say you did something?
I don't know. I mean, I think I told you I got my Brownell shipment in, right? My Brownell shipment of ammo, I got that in. So I was able to get a hold of some of that before the prices went nuts. It just took them a while to ship it. So I still got 5.56 ammo for like 30 cents a round. So I'm not mad at them. I also picked up some stuff so I could use for accuracy testing. So I picked up some, 77 grain match loads from multiple companies. And I started putting together all of my ammo in one spot because, classes, Minuteman Challenge, diversity shoots, my stuff's in different places. And I just started coordinate that. So really, no, I didn't pew any. I told you guys I was working on something with a company. I'm yet to hear back from them, but as always, they were all excited during SHOT Show and the Great American Outdoor Show to do business with me. And now all of a sudden it's like new phone, who dis? But that happens all the time.
Tony, you have to understand that doing business with us or it's not really like doing business. It's more of, hey, here's some free stuff.
Oh yeah. That's called business. No, well, I really believe what it is the Trump slump is over, excuse me. And the firearms industry could give two damns about Second Amendment advocacy is when they're rolling in dough.
Yeah, and now they're busy selling everything again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
well, the good news is you wait about a month or two and you'll probably be able to pick this crap up for half price.
Yes.
Yeah, when a lot of these people who all of a sudden wanted a gun and now they didn't need one, well, now they're going to try to get rid of it.
The same people who buy a generator down here in Florida every time there's a storm coming and then sell it when the storm passes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Or
those
those
are the,
people that buy the generator, keep it in the garage, never fire it up. Then when the storm comes, they go to fire it up and find the carburetor's gunked up, the battery's dead.
Oh, that's not even as bad. The last storm we had down here that was supposed to be bad, like literally the day after they said, okay, we're not in the cone of probability anymore, people were on the Facebook marketplace selling plywood, cases of water, generators. Like, and I'm like, y'all know another bad thing could happen in the future, right?
Especially in
And
Florida.
So yeah, like when in 6 months from now, I'm gonna try to buy up all these guns at half price from all these idiots.
oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, before I was worried about, I mean, I went with the police trade in 40 cals, right? I was like, hey, that's easy money. Now it's just going to be anything.
Yeah.
Everything's
Oh, yeah.
gonna be cheap.
It's like a couple weeks ago when I was at Sam's Club. I see people walking around. Oh no, I can't find water. I can't find toilet paper. I can't find water. I'm like, yeah, I got enough of that stuff in my house. I'm good.
Well, and
Yeah, the toilet
and
paper thing, no, because I don't know why we're hoarding that. Like that's the one thing that I guess where my prepping was lacking was I didn't know I needed 19 cases of
Can I be honest?
toilet paper.
Hey, I've got enough magazines here and books. I got enough toilet paper.
Well, I just pre-ordered Dan Crenshaw's new book, so I know I got some toilet paper on the way.
Oh, I actually am in the middle of his interview with Rogan when we jumped on here about the book. That's funny.
Okay. Well, I
forgot to tell you.
Yeah,
I
go.
bought
This would be
something.
good.
It's not really firearms related. It is firearms related. It's a new flashlight, because I love brighter and better. And it's not here yet. It's
Is it no light?
Shipping. No.
Mod light? Mod light?
I wish it was a mod light. I don't have mod light money.
Yeah,
I got
neither.
I got the Streamlight 5X. It's the one that used the two 18650s.
Right.
3,500 lumens and 51,000 candela. And
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it in my truck.
When the heck?
Yeah.
What the hell is
Oh, yeah.
that? How do
It's
I
like
not know this?
And it's like $100. Like it's not that expensive either. And I'm like, I might get
What is
another
this
one to
called?
put on a rifle. It's the HL5X by Streamlight.
Yeah,
It is awesome. I didn't know it was a thing either. I found it on Amazon. And I'm like, wait, what?
Hey,
I'm like,
Zane.
I need this. Yo.
You know what you need to do with that?
Put on a rifle?
No.
What?
Do a review. After you
yeah,
put it on
I
a
could,
rifle.
I could probably do that.
Wait a
I
minute.
mean,
do that.
what else are you doing? Sitting around like working? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. This is $79 on LA police gear.
Yes, that's with the 123 batteries. It's a little more expensive if you get the rechargeable 18650.
Oh yeah, if you buy it with the batteries
I don't use 123s anymore because you burn through them so quick and they're not cheap. So I just always order them with the 18650s. So it brings the price up to $100, and you only need 2 of those where you need 4 123s.
Right.
So,
Good
but yeah,
deal.
Okay.
awesome light, and because I just like the Streamlight 18650s because they have the charging port right on the side. So you can literally charge it with the battery itself with any micro USB.
Right.
Plug that
You just,
legit battery in.
That's
kinda
the way to do it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did make it to the range. I mean, technically,
Nice.
I'm a member of the range, and it's private, but it's open still. They're like, yeah, keep your distance. Well, I went to what they call the North Range, which is bays basically, but you can shoot rifles and stuff there. There's 12 bays total. I was one of 3 people using the bays, or 3 cars.
Yeah.
It was dead. So
That's the way I like it.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, either
perfect.
people didn't want to go because maybe they're scared, but I think more so they just didn't want to shoot their ammo up. So I made it to the range. I was trying out the regulator muzzle brake from Matador Arms. I liked it. I was checking recoil and stuff with the Mantis X10, which we will discuss later. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Did I do much else? No, I lost a front sight on a Glock pistol, but that doesn't matter.
Wait.
Yeah.
Glock perfection.
You mean the iron sight failed? That doesn't happen. The people on the internet say you can't use red dots because red dots fail. You have
I don't
to
know
use
if you can
irons
see this.
because they don't
but
fail.
She
you
gone.
see,
No, I
it's-
can't see
it's-
anything.
Yeah, exactly. It
Nope,
ain't there.
Can't see it.
It was not a factory Glock sight, but I'm like, yeah, screw it. I mean, it's not like I need it.
She gone.
Oh, wait. So hold on. The gun has a red dot on it and iron sights. And the sighting system that failed was which sighting system failed?
The iron sights. Well, in this particular case, the iron sights, because of the way this is mounted on a plate.
Oh, they're too low anyway.
They're blocked.
Yeah, they're blocked. Now if I put an RMR footprint cut on this and take the plate out, then the sights would have worked. But now they don't at all. So whatever.
I got in that. I the reason I'm kind of being.
I know, I know. But
I literally just got in this argument over in one of the groups that ends in Nation yesterday with a guy, and his argument was exactly that. You shouldn't put red dots on pistols because the red dot can fail. And I'm like, well, so even if what you're saying is true, you would rather only have one sighting system than two sighting systems, because even if it is gonna fail, you still have another sighting system on the gun.
Exactly.
So why would you not want to have a secondary?
How does the saying go?
How
does the saying go? One is none, two is one.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people just don't use their brains before they start typing.
No, it's not that they don't use their brains. It's that they repeat the thing either they hear from their tactical guru or the guy at the gun store who they feel is an expert. And I'm like, no.
Yes.
Usually not.
The guy at the gun store we don't even claim to be experts.
No, and I claim to know more than a lot of the guys in the gun stores when it comes to stuff.
That's not too hard to do.
What's an expert anyway? But let's roll.
You don't know what an expert is?
Usually the people that they say they're experts.
Do you know what X is? It's unknown quantities, right?
Oh, wow.
Do you know what a spurt is? We'll leave it there.
Okay. Nice.
All right, Rob, I think you're up.
Nope, he's not up
not
yet.
me, mate. I didn't do anything. I've still been freaking working every daggum day. We
got announcements because Rob's been working. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, go to gunandgearcult.com to pledge your support. Those kind of announcements. We have $1, $5, $15, and $25 levels. Urban Jaguar is still supporting $25, so that is a big plus. Bandwidth sponsor, of course, is Patriot Patch Co. New patches for pre-order. I don't think there's any up. Patch of the Month Club is late.
But you know what?
What?
I'm not worried about that, you know?
Me neither. And the thing is it's not like Jake is like, oh, yeah, he's like, yeah, it's late because of reasons. Yeah, exactly.
When I get my patch in, the first thing I'm going to do is clean it off because it.
and that's the thing. It's not like he's saying, "Oh yeah, it's been shipped" or anything. It's like, "Hey, this is the problem. It's going to be a little late." Okay, great.
Hey, by the way,
the April one's what? A Easter bunny on a tank or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what this one is. I looked, but now I haven't. So
let me explain to all my patrons that when a Patriot Patch Company patch. From now on, you will be getting it unopened with my address just blacked out with a Sharpie.
No, it's
nice.
It's a Cyber Easter bunny, it looks like.
Oh, so, yeah. Awesome.
It's going to be a cool little patch. But, I mean, you know, so many people are losing their jobs. I'm not worried about, you know,
a few weeks
for a patch.
Well, and that's the thing is I think the people that join the Patch of the Month Club are not the type of people that are worried about it's got to be here on the 1st or anything, you know. I don't think they're that type of person.
No.
So if you want some gun video content, you can check out gunstreamer.com. And of course, if you're shopping Amazon, there's the firearmsradio.tv/Amazon affiliate link. And we have a Matador Arms affiliate link and an Amend 2 affiliate link. You can go to them on the show notes on the Firearms Insider, or you can go to their webpage and up in the top, you can just put / hashtag GGRP or # GGRP for you Tonys out there. Now it's time for Rob to tell us about disclaimers.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows and really true when Zane's had a few beers in him before the show's begun, as in tonight. And now to tell
No,
us
not
about the
tonight.
Mantis.
Not tonight.
Not tonight?
No, I
Okay.
think I'm the only one that had a beer.
Yeah, I stopped drinking beer a little bit ago. And now for a review of the Mantis X10 Elite. This is just a second version of the Mantis, right?
Kind of.
Here's Chad.
There you go. Yes, this is the review of the Mantis X10 Elite. It is the newest, bestest model. That's what I'm going to say. Originally, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I reviewed the original Mantis X, which is not X2, 4, 10. It's just an X. And I liked it then. But we now have the Mantis X10 Elite, which they did send for review. They actually, sent me an email a while back and said, hey, we're coming out with this. Do you want to check it out? And of course I did. Now, I'm pretty impressed with this one for a few reasons that I'll go into in a little bit. Now, it is mainly a dry fire training apparatus, I guess. And it works to improve shooting skills like regular dry fire. Does make it easier. It does make it more entertaining, as opposed to just aiming at your light switch and pulling the trigger and then sliding the slide back and pulling it again. It does a lot more. It will tell you what you're doing wrong within reason. Or in my case, it just tells me I suck. I mean, I didn't get a screenshot of it, but I'm pretty sure it said you suck. So there is that. There's little red parts. It's just like a circle with a score inside, and then there's little red pieces around it. And if you touch one of those, it actually explains you what you were doing and how to fix it, which is kind of cool. And I mean, it's just a brief paragraph, but you can work on it and see if fixing it helps or doesn't help you, depending on like grip or whatever. Of course, the score, the higher the score, the better you're doing. Or errors are not as noticeable when you're in higher scores. But part of the fun of the X10 or any Mantis is that you can compete against your friends, family, or groups. I do know that We Like Shooting has a group that you can form and post your scores to, stuff like that. See how you're doing compared to other people stuff like that. Of course, the Mantis X10 Elite has, I put a plethora of training options and choices. Yes, that's a big word for Chad. It'll work on pistols, rifles, shotguns, and even bows. I'm going to leave the archery stuff out because that is definitely not my wheelhouse. They invented suppressors, so if you want to shoot quietly, use those instead of a bow, but to each their own. In all of these, the firearms, you get all different types of trainings in the app itself because it is paired with an app in your smartphone. All, of course, the training drills in the original Mantis X have been included. You get open training, shot timer, benchmarks, surprise break, primary, support hands, reload drills, cadence drills, and a new one, which is hostage drills. That's just for pistol. The rifle section has some of these others also, but it includes slow fire, rapid fire at different distances, and various other things. Now, my new dry fire favorite is actually the hostage taker drill. And because they were able to put this one in the Mantis X because it has a draw stroke kind of, I guess, evaluator in it. But with the hostage drill, it's got a buzzer built in. You draw it, and then you fire it at some target. I use a Post-it note with a hand-drawn target on it because, hey, it was something. You have to score an 85 or higher to complete it. It's fun. It's entertaining because it actually gives you something to work towards. You have to shoot the target within however many seconds it tells you, etc. And of course, then my other favorite is just your standard open training, which they had before. You just dry fire as normal, except it tells you the score, it tells you what you're doing wrong. Once you stop it, it gives you an average score along with a few other analysis information. Now, because of what we do here, the new Mantis X10 has features that are kind of cool. It has, like I said, the holster draw, and then it has a recoil meter. Of course, the holster draw doesn't work with a rifle. Imagine that. It will work in dry fire, live fire, stuff like that. I use a magazine adapter on the base plate. You can mount it on the firearm, on the normal rail if you have like a holster that is light bearing. It's not quite the same, but it's close. But, they make an adapter, which is basically a base plate, goes on your magazine. It works well because, if you're using like different guns with the same magazine style, just use the same magazine. Now, the draw analysis gives even more data than what you would think. It has grip, pull, horizontal, target, and shot. Please go to the review at the Firearms Insider because there's a little description on there in one of the pictures, which is way easier than trying to explain it. There's also a movement chart that shows those different data points with colors, which, hey, whatever. So that's kind of cool. It also has an overlay of the movements in that particular chart that it charts in each color the movement of like the firearm as you're pulling the trigger, draw, etc., which is kind of cool to look at. All mine pretty much look exactly the same. So really mine is more, hey, this is what it looks like when I shoot the gun after a draw, which I'm still working on. My draw stroke looks pretty good. Now the rest of it, that's a different story. But because we're reviewers, that's kind of cool. Now the recoil meter is perfect for us because it gives useful data on recoil of a rifle or pistol, shotgun also if you have it on it. So if you are either tuning a muzzle brake for specific ammo, finding which ammo has the least amount of muzzle rise, etc. for your rifle, the recoil meter works with that. Of course, it only works with live fire, so you have to be at a range. Not a big deal. The data points received from that are recovery time, muzzle rise, recoil width, and recoil angle. And there's some pictures in the review also. But it's kind of cool because it literally gives you negative or positive, like muzzle rise. The recoil width is like after the shot's fired, how much it moves, like left or right in the whole scheme of things. It's the recoil angle. So if you're, if it's shooting, instead of dropping it straight down, if your recoil is being pushed left or right and down, it will show you stuff like that, which for us as reviewers is pretty cool because you can actually take a muzzle brake and say, hey, this thing does this according to this data. I did have a little bit of trouble with the app when doing this. If you rapid fire, it does not seem to read all the shots. So say you shoot 10 shots rapid fire, it might show 7. Somewhere between 30 to 50% wouldn't record. But on a good note, if you shoot slower, then it records all of it. I think it's just kind of first iteration of this. It'll probably get better as time goes on. Now, where are we? We are that the options for all types of trainings and firearms are included in the X10 corresponding app. In the settings, you choose dry fire, live fire, or CO2. So if you have like a CO2 repeating pistol, you get some recoil management too. Airsoft, you get what I'm saying. gives a little better simulation of recoil, gives you even better training when you're sitting at home in your favorite chair, especially right now when you're not doing anything else. Live fire, of course, can help refine what was learned in your dry fire practice. The X10 can also be mounted just about anywhere on the firearm and still work just fine. In the settings, it has options like top, bottom, left, right. You get it. You get the idea. So no matter what kind of firearm you're using on, there is something in the app that you can set it for. The X10 is small. It's smaller than the original. I didn't put a width in here, but it's about an inch long, somewhere around there. It has a little flapper thing on the front, and all you do is pull the little flapper, and then you can slide it on the rail to whichever slot. Let go of it. That's kind of nice. It has a micro USB charging port. Comes with a cable. It's on the back, I say, of the unit itself. But also in the app, you can tell it if it's mounted forwards or backwards, so it doesn't really matter there either. Now, there is not a charging light on the bottom. There's only a power light or looking for connection light. I'm like, I'd like a light to see when it was charged or not, but the charge lasts roughly 20 hours, so it's not a huge deal. I mean, I think I've charged it a couple times in the last week, and I've been using it a whole lot since then. There is an estimated battery life percentage in the app. It's kind of a little hard to find in the settings tab, but it is down towards the bottom. What can the Mantis X10 Elite do for you? Well, it can definitely make you a better shooter. It gives you dry fire training everyone probably needs, because everybody, even professional shooters, do dry fire. And it can be fun too. I mean, my wife and daughter have even used it. They're like, this is kind of cool, just because they want to try to show me up and can't. But, hey, gives them something to do. It's a great training tool, really, for anyone, novice to expert, which I think Mantis even says so. I really like the recoil and holster draw components, which is what gives it a big plus against the original Mantis X. So, and I have been happy with pretty much both the ones that I have used. So we will get inside the Firearms Insider Reviews 8 key points. Claim to fame, of course, it's training aid for rifles, shotguns, pistols, and bows. Target market, pretty much anyone wanting to improve their skills. Features and benefits, well, there's a bunch listed here. I'm not even going to go through them because I kind of covered a lot of them. The archery is a separate app, if that matters, hey. But, this thing does weigh 14 grams, so you never really notice it's there. The other options or finishes available, of course, there aren't finishes. They have the Mantis X2, X3, and X7. The X2, I think, is just the improvement over the original X. The 3 and 7 are a few different ones. Maybe one's a shotgun only. There's something like that. There is what others are saying and another review from Range 365 in the show notes. And the price point is $249.99. And it doesn't really matter if you buy it from Mantis. There's a link to Brownells also in there. It's the same price everywhere, pretty much. There is, and they've been doing this for a while, if you have an original one and want to trade in your old one for a new one or an upgraded one, they do have a trade-in. I think it's like $100 they give you trade-in, which is a good deal. I mean, if you have one. So the pros, it does recoil analysis. It does holster draw analysis. It is small and lightweight. Pretty much fits any firearm. It does come with shotgun barrel adapters in the little kit. It is a great training aid. And, the app updates are free once you have the unit. The cons, it is slow to pick up recoil. The charging light, and if you don't really need recoil analysis or holster draw, the price can be a little bit kind of scary. But I did give it a score of 8.5, which is great. Now I will ask you guys if you have any questions on it.
Just so you know, on their website, you can go to, they've got a page where they've got the 4 different models and the differences in features and whatnot.
Yes, they do. What was that, Zane?
I was saying I don't have any questions, but I would like to play with it in the archery setting because I just started shooting a bow recently.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
I'm terrible at it.
Well, yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah. When you start out, you're never really good at something.
No.
No.
I'm really bad with a bow, apparently. It's not like shooting a gun.
Tony?
Wow. Well, I wanted to actually get one of these. I probably still will contact them and try to get one. I'm just wondering, do they have low recoil bows for Zane?
They
do.
They do. Yes, they do. You just have to.
That's good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're usually in the children's section.
That's all right. All I see is Zane running around this property right now with one little bright orange bows with the arrows with the suction cup on the end.
The little suction cups. Yeah. I got like an Indian headdress thing on, which is probably not allowed anymore in today's PC culture. But hey, whatever.
Wow.
As long
You're
as
still
you at least
in Florida.
Hey,
at
now,
least
Chad, you've got
if
the
you're
original
one.
Mantis X?
Sorry, what was that, Rob?
You're the first one you had is the original Mantis X, right?
Yes.
How does that compare in size to the new one?
This one's about half the size.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
okay.
shrunk.
Yeah,
It's shrunk.
That's nice.
It literally shrunk in length and a tiny bit in height.
So does it fit in holsters with a light cutout?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them, even the old one did. Like I said, they don't grab quite like the light would. But
Okay.
you know, if you're just doing dry fire,
Yeah, who cares?
it's going to work fine. And then, like I said, you can buy one of their magazine adapters if you
Okay.
want.
Now, did that one come with the shotgun adapter? With
It
the
does.
barrel adapter?
It does.
Is the barrel adapter, is that one plastic?
No, I don't.
Because it
think
looked plastic
so.
on the website.
I think it's like metal. I don't know.
Okay,
You guys.
because I was going to say,
I'll
if it's
I'll
plastic,
tell you.
I don't know if I'd run that on a live fire shotgun.
I'll tell you
I
what.
would.
Yeah, I think it's metal with like rubber inserts.
Okay.
I will go get it here in a minute.
No, you don't have to
okay.
show it.
Okay.
Well, so is it? Am I wrong in understanding that the original one was kind of riddled with issues, and this one is leaps and bounds better?
It is leaps and bounds better, but really the X2, which replaced the X, is the leaps and bounds better one. You know, I didn't get one when it was first came out. I got one probably a year after that. So I think they had worked out quite a few of the bugs even by then.
Gotcha.
Because the only problem I really ever had with the original was kind of like I had with this one during the recoil part, not picking up shots in live fire.
Right.
Now, this one still picks. This one is way better than the original as far as picking up live fire shots.
You know what else I'd be interested in? All jokes aside, I would be interested in using this on a shotgun to see how reduced recoil loads actually are.
You know, I will, Zane. I will put it on a shotgun.
You should do that.
And I have some reduced recoil and some standard recoil double-aught buck.
You should definitely do that. I want to know if I'm shorting myself here.
Well, the thing is you're not. We all know that you're not really shorting yourself.
Right. That 9th pellet flyer is a thing.
No. I have 9 pellet reduced recoil.
Oh, that's interesting.
From before they made 8 pellet. Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah. It's probably still got a 9 round.
One thing I think is interesting, Chad, is I was poking around looking at their trade-in form.
Yes.
the trade-in for the X is $100. X2 goes down to 70. X3 is $120. X7's $130, and the X8's only $100.
Yeah, because they
Right.
want those original ones gone because of how messed up
Yes.
they were.
I believe
Well, no,
that
I'm
as
saying
well.
the X3 and the X7 are more than the X1, but then the X8 goes down. So I don't know.
I think I'm guessing it probably has something to do with what's in them and what they actually record.
It's probably
Yeah,
has to do with, like you say, what's in them that they can reuse to make new stuff.
that could be that too. Yeah.
Well,
I
my
don't know.
whole thing is, I wonder how sensitive it is to the gas blowback airsoft guns, because that's a viable training tool at this point. They used to be very expensive, and they've gone down in price. So I've been scanning through, looking at. I just typed in gas blowback airsoft, and it took me to. I used to be way more into this and would go to Evike, but I just went to Red Wolf Airsoft, which is another one, airsoft company that sells a bunch of different guns, and it looks like about between 100 and 150 can get you almost every model of firearm out there.
Yeah, and they do in the settings. They have shot detection sensitivity for normal and high. So I think if it's not detecting, you could switch it to high.
So I'm just saying, guys,
Right.
I mean, if you're home, this is a definite tool, because guess what? It makes no difference when this will end. The price of ammo is not going to go back down, and ammo availability isn't going to become a thing pretty much until the end of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, you think about it, though. It's $250, so that's what, about a box of 9mm or a case of 9mm?
Not anymore, but okay.
Yeah,
You know how long it's been since I bought 9mm?
8 weeks ago, that was a case of 9mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
Not anymore.
It might be a half a case now.
We're up
get
to
500
30-something.
rounds.
We're up to 30-something sit around right now for 9, I think, if not more.
You're paying self-defense ammo prices for target ammo right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you buy this and theoretically you wouldn't have to shoot that much ammo,
Right.
Exactly. You don't have to shoot
That's
that
what I'm
much
saying.
ammo using it in a real steel gun. You don't have to shoot any ammo. You say you can dry fire it too, right?
Oh, it's mainly
That's
that's
what it's
the
designed
best
for, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got that. And
That's
then you
like
can
the best part of it.
And then you can get your airsoft version of the gun too. So I mean, there's ways. I mean, you'll spend a little bit of money, but it's not ridiculous money, because nothing you're paying is something that everybody's scrambling for right now.
Right. Exactly. Okay, that was the Mantis X10 Elite review. Up next, product spotlight and discussion. Hopefully people are excited about what's in here. I don't know. They didn't say anything. First up is the Stoeger STR9 Compact. Of course, it's so new that Stoeger doesn't want to list it on their website, and haven't since this article came out 2 weeks ago. But so we put the TFB article in there. MSRP is $329. Now let me get over here to the Stoeger. It's basically your Stoeger pistol. It's 9mm. It is striker fired. Barrel length is now 3.8 inches. Overall length is 6.9. It weighs 24 ounces. It does have the interchangeable back straps. It does have a trigger safety, a little flapper. You can get either standard or tritium night sights. It is nitride coated. Capacity is 13+1 with an extended magazine, or actually that's not extended, or 10+1 if you live in Jersey. Basically, it's the same STR9 that they have had full size before. They just cut it down in size. It looks like I'm guessing, from what I could see, it's a tiny bit smaller than maybe a G19 grip length, but about the same everywhere else. I thought it was nice. I'm trying to remember. I think Tony did not like the trigger on the Stoegers, or it didn't fit his hand right, but I could be wrong. Maybe that was something else I was thinking he shot it at SHOT Show.
Did I shoot the Stoeger? No, I shot the, what you call it?
Oh yeah, the Masada or
Yeah,
whatever. Yes,
Masada.
that's right. Sorry, I was incorrect. Yes, but for the price you're getting for this pistol, I think it's going to be a decent pistol. You never really hear too much bad about the STR9s, and it's basically just a compact version of it. If the trigger pull's decent, I think it's got a front rail. Looks like a pick rail. It didn't really say anywhere, but the back straps are not just back straps. It's like half of the back of the grip. If that helps you guys any. Night sight ones, who knows what those are going to be, but probably like $50 more or something. I could see this being $300 on the street easy, maybe $280. That would be a pretty good deal for what you're getting. They say they're going to begin shipping in May. Hopefully they do, but that could be debatable about now.
Yeah, all I'll say is kind of reiterate what I said pre-show, and I would not buy anything right now from anyone manufacturing firearms.
And you should probably elaborate on that. I mean, we know here because we heard you, but
Yeah. So testing ammo for manufacturers is up. It's costing them more to buy their ammo to test, and from at least one person in the industry who makes higher end guns, a lot of the stuff he's getting isn't passing is not passing gauge, and he's having to reject a lot of parts because QC apparently industry wide has gone down because they're ramping up to try to meet the demand, and a lot of companies are just ramping up production and not ramping up QC. So personally, I'm not buying anything right now, and it's not a knock on Stoeger. That's just where I'm at with the whole industry.
woohoo. Rob, Tony?
All right, I look at this Stoeger as you're in that category again where just slightly more money gets you a gun that was tested by militaries and police forces around the world. You know what I'm saying? This Stoeger probably works out real well. I think I saw it today for $249 somewhere. I'm trying to find it because you can get it with different packages. You can get it with just a regular 3-dot sight and one mag and no back straps for like $299. And I think their top of the line is like 3 magazines, 3 back straps, and night sights for like $425 MSRP. I think it's something like that. I'm pulling that off the top of my head from the multiple reviews I've watched on it. Everybody says it's good, but everybody put like 200 to 300 rounds through it, and I can put 200 to 300 rounds through almost anything, and you are okay with it. It's when you get more than that, you know what I mean? And when you start putting hollow points in it, or when you start putting steel case in it, because that's all you can get right now, you know what I'm saying? That's what's telling. So I don't think there's anything wrong. Stoeger has a good reputation for stuff, but like Zane said, right now, manufacturers know everyone's buying anything that comes out regardless. Would you get a new Stoeger? Because it does have to get shipped over. It might be something in the warehouse right now if you buy it now, but if you buy it a month from now, you don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of
See,
good thing.
I don't have any experience shooting Stoegers, so I'm not going to say yay or nay, but my thing is, like we're saying, everybody's buying guns right now, so you wait a few months, and you probably pick up these guns that they're buying for $600-700 new and pick them up for $400 or $500 on the used market with maybe a box through them, if that,
If they've even been shot, a magazine through them.
And again, these things sometimes aren't just as good. I mean, you have to think about the testing that they did for Glock 19X, the SIG P320, and what else? All those guns that came up in that particular Army testing.
Yep, the 509, the M&P model.
And even the Beretta.
Did the M&P model make it, actually? I think it failed. I think it failed the accuracy standard.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. And also Beretta threw their new 92 in.
Yep.
The 92A3. So all these things fired tens of thousands of rounds under their design. This isn't the same monster.
No.
This isn't the same kind of gun. So you can't expect, it's not hashtag just as good.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
But
I don't know. I've never shot one, so I have I've never shot one. I've never seen one in class, so I have no earthly idea.
And that's where you enter another problem at, because I looked up holsters for this, and you can find like 2. One of them is that horrible one size fits any Stoeger holster that is something like the XD holster. You know what I mean? That just comes with stuff.
Right.
That no. And then there's another company called Klinger Holsters, and I think it looks almost like a nearly one size fit all holster system. So when you get stuff like this, you're going to have fewer options. Like when you go to Taurus, when you go to Ruger, like that, secondary level, I guess you'll call it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Like even though CZ I think is a better quality gun, but when you get to stuff that people don't commonly buy, your options of holsters and aftermarket accessories start to dry up. And where you get to the $250 new guns, they really start to dry up.
Yeah, that's the thing we see a lot of times when people try to go as cheap as possible, and then it's like, oh, I can't find a holster for my gun. Perfect example was in one of the security groups I'm in the other day. Guy was looking for a duty holster for his XD with an O light on it, and I'm like, you're not going to find one. Like, because you're that's a weird gun that no one uses for duty, and that's a weird light that no one uses for duty. You're not finding a duty holster for that, man. But you want to save a few bucks here and there. So,
but
yeah,
internet
aftermarket in general is a big thing. You know, you got something you got to look at when you're purchasing. What's the aftermarket support, and that includes holsters.
Yeah, exactly.
And since we have a lot of new people out there, and when you get something like this, all of a sudden you hear the siren call of one size fits all holsters. Don't answer that call.
No.
They don't fit. They don't hold your gun like they should. Your gun will fall out and embarrass you. That's the best possible.
I was going to say, best case scenario, your gun will fall out and embarrass you.
Yeah.
And if
outside of that,
if
your
it's a
gun
P320, it might fall out and do other stuff.
And again, taking into what Zane said about QC being a little bit off.
Yeah.
Do you want to play with that?
Exactly.
Okay. Holy crud. Hold on.
What?
A Beretta APX full-size pistol right now, $299 new.
And I do not hate the APX.
Are those made by Stoeger?
It's not a bad gun.
Isn't Stoeger a division? Used to be a division of Beretta?
I think so, right? Yeah, because like the Stoeger Cougar was the Beretta.
Yeah, whatever
Tomcat?
It was.
No.
Yeah, no. It had a name kind of like that, though. But
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
This was something that went through the military testing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, okay, we're gonna put the Stoeger STR9 compact to rest and get to something that I'm super excited about. Next up, Odin Works Nav 22 suppressor. MSRP is $349. For what you get, that is probably a steal. Now, hopefully Tom Bowers is not listening, so so he won't call me up and say, hey, I'm waiting for him to make one of these. But the nav suppressor is pretty sweet. Odin Works, you know, we've reviewed some of their other stuff. I'm not going to review the suppressor because it would take me a year before I got it anyway. But they came out with a 22 suppressor. I did see this before. I've just been waiting for them to actually show it on their website. It's pretty cool. It's a modular suppressor. It comes in either black or I think it's like tan or OD, whatever they want to actually. Sand is what they call it. It's kind of I don't even know how to make it. It's kind of a grayish, sandish color. It's not like a dark sand color. It's more like a lighter sand color. There is a serialized stainless baffle in there that is kind of a bronze color. It is rimfire. The whole thing weighs 4 ounces in its full length and 2.3 in its short configuration. It's mainly aluminum. It will handle 22 LR, 22 mag, 17 HMR, and 17 Hornet, which is kind of cool. And its longest length is 6.5 inches long. It's 1.05 inches in diameter. The stainless heat treated baffle is 17.4 stainless. The other parts are 70-75 aluminum. It is direct thread, half 28. The DB rating from what I understood, was CCI standard velocity on a rifle in full length is 113 decibels. In a handgun, it's 119 decibels. And I sent them a question about it. You can get, what did he say, 7 lengths available. You basically have to have the screw-on baffle section and the stainless baffle and then an end cap. But so you can make it basically super short. I think there's a video that they did that's on, I don't think it's on their website miraculously, but it is on their Instagram page of them. It does come with the tools to take it apart if you need to. It has kind of a taper in there to help keep them clean, the threads clean. But basically, you can take it down super short, have it the full length. He also sent me some other decibel ratings with a Ruger pistol Mark III 4.5-inch barrel standard velocity with the heat treated stainless baffle and one aluminum baffle. You get, it looks like average about 140 decibels, 137, 138, 140, 142. Now, if you add another baffle to it, it drops to 133, 123, 122, 126, so about 128 maybe. Then he sent me some more on a Savage Bolt Action 22 with basically just the screw-on baffle and the stainless baffle. You get 125 decibels basically, and that's in its very shortest configuration. Decibel numbers don't always tell you what you need, but they give you kind of an idea of what you're looking at. I thought I really like these kind of suppressors where they're able to take them apart, one, to clean them, or two, if you're running a rifle, you don't need the full length on it because it's going to be hearing safe with a couple baffles on it. And if you're running a really short pistol, you have both of those. There are other companies out there that make similar things. I think they're still about $100 more. And I mean, 22 cans aren't super expensive, but you can go cheap or you can get something that's configurable. I mean, $350 to me is not a bad price for this. I trust Odin Works. They make good stuff. That's what I have to say about it. Anybody else? Zane, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I couldn't hear you, so I don't know if I was interrupting you earlier. The only person I could hear was Tony. So I was like, me and Tony are talking, and I'm like, oh, someone else could be talking. So anyway,
nope.
Okay. I like the idea of a configurable can. I can't say I like them because I don't own a suppressor, because there's two things in life I don't like, and that's confined spaces and giving the government money. So I don't have silencers. But I like the idea of one that is configurable because, like you say, what am I using it for? If I'm out hunting, it might fire 1 or 2 shots. Well, I'm fine with it just right at that 137, 140, almost hearing safe threshold. Fine. If I'm doing home defense stuff, which I probably wouldn't be with a 22, but
right,
you get the idea. Really short can on it, because I'm like firing a bunch of rounds. If I'm gonna go blast away with my niece and nephew at the range all day,
and it's an indoor range,
sure, make it longer. We're all gonna have a good time. So and then you don't have to buy a bunch of cans and give the government even more money for every single one. So I like the idea of it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Let's see, Tony.
I hate everybody.
Yep. Okay. That's the exact answer I was hoping for.
I know. I was checking it out because, of course, being Tony, I'm looking for alternatives for it. And it seems when you come to the configurable, I mean, you got Q, because I think the Q erector, and it's like 2 ounces. I mean, excuse me, 2.5 ounces, 2.6 ounces, and it's configurable. But like you said, it's about $100 more.
Right.
So there aren't that many that you can change the size. Now there are some companies that make smaller ones.
Yes.
But again, not configurable. Like I think the Bowers has the pillbox.
Oh,
is that what it's called?
No, it's the Biddy.
The Biddy.
The Biddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, literally, it's. I don't even know how small it is. It is small, but
it's whittle.
But I mean, but then if you want a standard length one, there's 2 tax stamps. With this, okay, you might be a little bit longer, inch longer, maybe on the shortest configuration.
Mm-hmm. So. And then you end up getting some heavier stuff like the Ruger silencer. It's like 6 ounces. It's 3 times. It weighs 3 times as much.
Right, and this is like 4 ounces full configuration.
Oh, it's 4 ounces.
Well, that's at the full length.
Oh,
it's 2.3 on the short end.
Yeah,
so I just look at it like
2.3 ounces. Throwing that on the end of a Ruger 1022 to go squirrel hunting.
You're not even going.
That's great because I like I'll be honest. Even when I shoot 22, I don't usually wear hearing, even though you're supposed to because it's not hearing safe. I usually don't, just because I don't like it. So I really should probably get. Oh, I don't shoot 22 very often. Everybody knows that. So.
Yeah, we know that. Rob?
It looks interesting.
Okay.
I don't have any experience with Odin work suppressors, but I like the idea of the modular part. I'm assuming that you take the baffles after the brass piece off and put the end cap there to make it the shortest configurable version.
Correct. And that's in the very shortest. Or you can use any number of the baffles, because I actually emailed my contact over there, and he was the one who sent me those,
I just
higher
wish they
noise reduction ratings with the short one. But
tell him what they might want to do is put pictures on the website of what it looks like in the long and in the short configuration.
Right. Right, because he said there's 7 lengths total, and if you look at the long one, there's 6 baffles there. So
maybe they couldn't pay for all the extra film they needed to develop to put it on the website.
I was going to say they can't put 8 pictures on the website.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Again, hello companies, get your stuff together. This is your porthole where everyone looks at your product.
Yeah, you're trying to sell stuff.
Yep.
Well, what you're trying to sell is something for $350 plus tax, plus another $200 tax stamp, plus about a year wait to get the darn thing. So
so I'd like to see it as much as possible.
Yeah, what do you guys talk about this tax? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I said I don't like giving the government money or confined spaces.
Well, see, no, I meant not the $200 for the stamp. I'm talking about other tax, like
sales tax.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, cute. Hey, I'm gonna have to bail. I got episode 69 of Fireside Chats with John Crump.
Oh, they have the gun bunny on episode 69. Nice.
Hey, listen, man, I got to spread that. Easter's coming. I got to get around.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, listen. So my whole thing is great. Price is right. Hey, man.
Yeah. You got anything super quick to say about the backpack?
Backpack. Yeah, I question its material because I think it said it was 600 or 400 Cordura.
Yeah.
Then, dude, I mean, back in the day, it was like 1,000 was where you went with something that lasted a while, and now it's 400.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, is this gonna last for the price they're asking for it? Because if I buy something for the price they're asking for, and it lasts only as long as something that's half that price, why would I buy it?
Yep, I got you.
So that's my only question about the backpack.
Okay. Well, we can't answer that. So, okay. Well, take care, Tony, and
All right, man.
we'll try to not do your diversity shoots justice.
Don't worry about it. The diversity shoots aren't going to happen until ranges open back up, but you can still go to diversityshoot.com. Hey, I got the Boogaloo giveaway coming up. I just got to figure out how to give it away. I got everything together, and it's a pain in the butt to get rifle kits now. So guess who's got one and going to give it away during the Boogaloo giveaway, including the lower. So I'm just saying. Heck, if I find some boxes, I might give away some ammo and make this real interesting. All right.
I see. Okay.
See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Well, Tony's gone. So up next, I put this in here because I thought it was kind of interesting. It's the VanQuest ADDAX18 backpack. MSRP is $139.99. The only reason I really put this in there here is, some of their stuff is decent built, but this is their new. They're making a few different ones, but it's their urban series, and it is not your typical, tactical backpack. It just looks like your everyday backpack your kid or, college kid, high school kid or something might wear. Which is why I put it in here because, especially right now with all the times, if you go out, want to put something else in your backpack, this might be something you're looking for. And like Tony said, it's an 18-liter backpack. You can click on the links to check it out. It will hold a laptop or tablet up to 15 inches. Various other stuff like that. It is a padded compartment for the laptop. It also has another tech compartment for if you want something else. But like Tony said, it is made from 400D Urban Blend nylon poly fabric with multiple polyurethane coatings on both sides for highest level of water resistance and protection from the elements. They do use, some of it uses YKK zippers. The total weight is 2.3 pounds empty. It's 17 by 11 by 6.25 inches. It's a backpack, but it does have a total of 15 pockets, 15 slots. It's got luggage pass-through straps, the bunch of different compartments. It is has water bottle holder inside of it. There is some other compartments. Some of it's 500D Urban Blend fabrics. Elastic organizers, hook and loop slip pockets, CCW compatible, which they have Velcro things in here, and they make little Velcro holsters, or you can Velcro any appropriate holster inside of this for concealed carry. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything. Enhanced storage, we went through that. Moisture resistant. That pretty much covers it. You can get it, and like I said, it looks like a plain backpack. It's got a little thing that says VanQuest gear on it. You can get it in midnight blue or shadow gray, so it's pretty much a squarish looking original backpack that you get that doesn't look like a tactical backpack. Today's stuff, you might want to carry something in it. If you had a really small folding pistol caliber pistol, you might be able to stick it in this bag also. It is not made for that, but I'm sure with enough the Velcro places in it, you could add straps to hold it. That's the only reason I put it in here. Tony said his 2 words on it. Rob, Zane, I don't know how you guys feel about this.
Yeah, for the price, I feel like it should be 500D with 1000D.
Yeah, I think it should be different.
I think
material.
That's what a lot of the companies are doing. They're keeping it lightweight by using 500D, but then in the corners and in the high traffic, if you will, areas, they're reinforcing that with 1000D
right.
Cordura. So that's all well and good. I don't know. I'm not interested in any backpack that I can't put a 12.5 rifle in with a loft folder. So
And let's see, a 12.5. What's this compartment size? I think
that's
you'd have to go to the larger
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna 12.5.
They do make a backpack that's made for a rifle like that, even
now
a longer rifle.
My 4.5-inch 9mm, if I put a loft folder,
Oh yeah, that would fit in that.
Would probably fit in here.
Would it even need a loft folder?
Yes, because the backpack I have is about the same size as this, and it just barely won't fit.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, 17
Actually, it
inches.
probably would if I collapsed the brace a little bit, because I'm kind of teeter-tottering with the ATF's ruling on length of pull with my brace.
Oh.
Like, I think they said 13.5-inch length of pull, and I'm running like 13.25 length of pull.
Yeah, I remember, like on mine has 7.5-inch AR, but it's not a 9mm, and I think I broke out the tape measure when I did it because I wanted it compressed as much as possible, but still usable. And I think I pretty much was like, yeah, this looks good. 13 3/4 or something, a little over.
Yeah, like when I originally put it together, I didn't realize there was no letter on that with braces and how long they could be. So I had it set up for about a 15-inch length, 14.5-inch length, and then when they came out with their letter, it was like, nope, that's an intent to be a whatever this thing.
Right.
It's like, all right, well, let's shorten this down, because the gun was never intended or designed to be fired from the shoulder. Obviously, the gun was intended, and I do occasionally misuse the brace, but it was never intended for that purpose.
Right. Because if you intended it for that purpose, you would definitely
that would have been
illegal. Go to your confined spaces.
Right, and I don't like confined spaces.
Exactly.
But no, we went down a little rabbit hole. But yeah, no, the bag doesn't look bad, but I don't know if you're getting what you pay for. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I remember seeing them at SHOT Show because I've talked to the guys that work there and it looked okay. I mean, it didn't feel cheap, so it's not like you're buying a $30 Chinese backpack for $140. But
I use cheap backpacks mostly, to be honest, because I don't use them that often. So I don't know. If I was gonna spend money on a backpack, like good money on a backpack, I'd probably go see our friends over at
Tactical Tailor.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, yes, and I mean, I like the guys there. I think some of their stuff is decent. I mean, here at VanQuest, I even have they make some cool little pouches too, which like Grey Ghost doesn't make. So, and if
I can't think of any negative I've heard about VanQuest though. So
right, and that's I actually have, which is one of the most useful things that they make. I didn't put it in the show note. They make a water bottle or a bottle carrier that's you put on your mole, whatever, and that thing is awesome. It's like $20 or something.
Nice.
It's listed on their website. I think I don't know exactly what it's listed under, but yeah, it's kind of cool because like my backpack has places to put everything. It just didn't have a decent place to put a water bottle. I'm like, and then I ran across this that they make. Yeah, here it is. They call it a Hydra water bottle holder. It'll hold like a 32-ounce water bottle. Length isn't really as important, and it just straps on. It's got bungee cords. It's pretty cool. I must admit. So, on a complete tangent.
Yeah, I'm just not really a backpack guy. I don't carry bags or backpacks around, and I probably should, considering how much stuff that I like to have. But I just I've never been a bag dude. Everything I have everything on my person, and I used to carry a bag at work that had like some stuff in it, but then I just put the stuff in the truck.
Right. So, and like me, I have a smaller backpack in my pickup that is more, it's not really a backpack. It's just got medical stuff in it, like extra. Like, hey, this is, it's of course got all the Band-Aids and everything else. And tourniquet, but it's like the extra stuff that I don't carry. It's
Yeah.
like so no matter who drives it, it's there.
Yeah. Well, I
You
have
know.
one of those too. It's got
Right.
some medical stuff in it. It's got a change of clothes, an extra pair of socks, like stuff
Right.
like that. But I don't really like backpack. I know I see dudes, especially in bigger cities, that like have a bag, either like a man purse or a backpack, and they
Right.
everywhere they go.
And
I'm
well,
like,
and that's the thing is, and like this backpack's kind of for that. And I mean, where I live, you don't hardly see anybody but crackheads with backpacks. But you know, this backpack is more so, I think, for city urban. You work in the city, you carry stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look out of place. Yeah. Al, that was the VanQuest ADAX 18 backpack. Listener feedback. I didn't have any earlier, and I didn't go check, so there might be some, there might not. We'll get to it if there is.
you probably got an email from a listener.
I did.
That hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you need help writing reviews?" I'm like, "Yes." Email Chad.
Yeah, and I emailed him. I said, "Here's what we do," and I got to send him the form. Which, hey, that's super easy. And thanks for reminding me, because I was going to do that after I was done here. So Tony left us. So second is for everyone diversity shoot. Well, as you heard him say, they're all on hiatus until all this blows open and the range is open. Of course, if you're shopping black bag resources, you can use the 2A4E code, and anything in your cart will be donated to the diversity shoots. And you can go to all Tony's social media and harass him there. So send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Go pledge your support for us at gunandgearcult.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. There is a TikTok. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we're not doing TikTok. That's Chi-Com. We're not doing TikTok.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Send us questions.
At Firearms Insider. Yeah, send us questions. We're thinking about doing another questions show. We'll get to that next week, maybe. Of course, thank you for listening to I guess it's only the half large pound for pound podcast tonight because Tony skipped out. And happy Thanksgiving. Oh, wait, wrong one. Easter.
That is not the right one.
I mean, hey, rabbits taste good too.
Yes.
Don't let your kids hear that. And we are out.
Oh, that's exciting.